today's tutorial, we're going to be looking at the practical skills that you could use to make your film prop.
It's a good idea to sketch out some ideas before you start making your prop. So I'm drawing alongside my character design because I want the prop to relate to my character. I've used the same colours, so I'm sticking with reds and blacks again, and I'm looking at her style and what her persona is all about. So the first one is very sleek and stylish. The second one is a bit more twisted and gnarled because she's a bad guy. And then I brought in the feathers. But I decided that design looked a little bit too much like a feather duster, so perhaps not stylish enough for her. So my third design is sticking with the sleek design and still adding the use of a feather, but it's much more subtle in its approach. Again, you'll see that I've added annotation as I've gone along with my design work. So taking your wooden dowel, you need to make sure there's no hazardous ends to it. So here I'm just using a piece of glass paper to smooth off the tip. So I'm creating the pointed end, but it's not going to be dangerous to somebody perhaps using it as a film prop. The other end, although it's looking jagged at the moment, I'm going to be covering this using hot glue. So hot glue is a really good way of adding extra texture to the wand and building up layers. Some things you need to be aware of is that as you're working with the glue, it will want to drip down, so I'm constantly turning it in my hand. It's not a bad idea to have a glass of water on hand, because if you're getting impatient and you need certain parts of the glue to dry, if you dip the glue end into the water, it will cool it down and allow it to dry a lot quicker. Obviously, whenever using a hot glue gun, you need to be extra careful not to burn yourself, so making sure you don't touch the metal end of the glue and making sure you don't set it down anywhere that could potentially cause a fire. You also need to make sure that the lead from the glue gun isn't trailing and posing as a tripping hazard to anybody else walking by. Once the glue has set, you can then start thinking about painting the wand and adding in your additional features. Now, you can use a variety of materials. It's entirely up to you and your design and what you've got available. But technically you could make the entire wand just using the dowel and the hot glue to create texture and form. Once again, acrylic paints are great for these tasks. It takes the paint well on the hot glue and on the wooden dowel. So I'm starting with my base colours and then going back over to add in any extra details. I'll need to wait until the paint is fully dry before I add on my additional features, which for me is going to be a feather. You should now be able to design and make your wand. Remember, it should relate to the character that you designed in the previous sessions. Don't forget to share your work.